tuning in to Gullah Business of Charleston for another wonderful feature that we have this evening today. We're featuring Miss Latoya Vickers. She's here with us to talk about the wine industry and her new event and program that's coming up in Charleston in April. And it's the Great Shake Up. So we want you guys to tune in, find out all the details, and find out more about the wine and spirit industry because she has been doing marketing and branding. That's her forte, and to find out just how our culture is impacting the industry and how it can grow even more. My name is Tiffany Savage. I'm the Vice President of Gullah Business of Charleston, and I'm here with the President, Ms. Nicole Fringle.
Hello, everyone. I'm the President, Nicole Fringle.
So we're just going to jump right into it. So today we have Ms. Latoya Vickers on with us. And if everybody can see her.
Hey.
All right. Miss Latoya has been gracious, to bless us with her presence because this industry that she's in right here, people don't really talk about it.
No.
We grew up in the South.
Yes.
And with us growing up in the South, the thing that we knew about Black people making alcohol was moonshine. But guess what? It's bigger than that. We do have people that work in all fronts of it. Alcohol. So we want
I like
to
moonshine though. Like if they do it like my daddy did it, I still will drink it because my daddy would bring it home and he getting it from wherever in a big pickle jar. And then he go doctor it and add like apples and raisins and cinnamon.
Mm-hmm.
And then he'd like sit it in a dark corner. Baby, somebody give me some of that. I'm here for it. I am here for it.
So this one of the things that we love about doing these features, they not only promote other Black-owned businesses and other ventures that people are doing of color, but also too as well for anybody that's aspired to go into these professions or to these fields. And so if you know anybody that is thinking about getting into this industry, you may can learn some tips of wisdom from someone who's in the industry where she markets and brands it. And so that may be a light bulb may go off. Your uncle's apple pie moonshine, guess what? There's a possibility you could probably brand that. Y'all been selling it anyhow from block to block. Go big with it.
Exactly. That's it. Yes.
That's
wine,
true.
the same thing. Wine, the same thing. So like I said again, we are blessed to have Miss Latoya Vickers here. And so I'm gonna just start off. How in the world did you end up in this industry? I'm just going to start like that because I know a lot of people like, hey, I want to do this, want to do that. How did you end up going into this industry, marketing and branding?
God in real life, shout out to Big Jesus. So I was literally praying one day because I worked in corporate America for like 15 years or so. And so I was praying about what I wanted to do and I wasn't really sure. And God said to me, why do you keep waiting for somebody to give you what you already know how to do? And I was like, I don't really know what that means, Jesus. I'm gonna need you to give me a little bit more, please, because I don't understand. And he literally gave me the complete vision for my brand, which is called Festival Noir. And it combined two of the things that I really enjoy, which are events and wine and spirits. And so it's truly been a blessing, and it's truly been very interesting to be witness to as it happens, right? Because it's like, oh wow, this is exactly what he said, right? And it's like, oh, okay, all right, I got it, okay. And it's scary too because there's no blueprint, right? And it's literally trusting and walking in faith. And I've learned in that time, you have to ask for help. So how you get into it, you seek out the people you think are doing great things, and you reach out and say, hey, can I talk to you for a little bit? Can I find out? Da 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 da. And that's really been one of my strong points. A lot of people think, oh, we hear that saying, like crabs in a barrel, that kind of thing. But there are lots of people who aren't like that. And I'm one of those people, right? There's so much space in this industry. Like you can do what you want to do. Somebody else can do what they want to do. And we all going to be fine, right? There's room to win for everybody. And I think that's been one of the best things I've been able to bear witness to in this industry.
And that's amazing too, because you mentioned that there was room to grow. So just out of curiosity, when you look at the demographics of this market, how many people of color are actually have a percentage of it or input in like the wine and spirit industry?
It's very small. When we talk about people who work in the industry, it's less than 1%. When we talk about mixologists, it's 5.6%, which is the basis for why we do the Great Shakeup, right? It's the basis for that because their representation and recognition means something. And if we don't create those spaces to do just that, then those things they don't happen, right? People don't get to see it. People don't get to experience it. And then it continues and it doesn't grow, right? So today the number is 5.6% when we talk mixologists. How long has it been that way? I don't know. But I do know I want to be a part of the people who make it go the opposite way, who make it increase, or even if it doesn't increase, we increase the shine and the light on, and really appreciation of the talent of those who are there.
I'm going to ask a question that may sound a little simple, but when I looked on your page, I'm like, the Great Shakeup. How did you come about that name?
I didn't.
You didn't?
It was part of the vision. It was in there, and I was like, that sounds great. Well, initially was just going to be
pay attention, like the Great Shakeup. Okay, what's she doing? That really makes you
yeah,
pay attention.
Yeah.
Like, okay, let me see. I need to be shooken up. What's going on?
Yeah, right. And then it's a playoff of, actual shaking, like the when you go to the bar and the bartender's shaking your cocktail. So it's a playoff that as well. And for what it really is, it's a way to shake up the industry, and shake up the status quo of what we know about Black mixologists.
Wow. Oh, I love
So
that. That made me look deeper into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, she got something going on. This is really going to be deep. I'm like, I got to look into this. I'm like, drinks. Drinks always work with me. Drinks, yes.
Sometimes I think it's my love language, even though it's not on the test, it's not listed there, but food and drinks should be, because it would definitely be mine. But yeah, no, I love craft cocktails, right? So I love to go and let the mixologists really do their thing. Like, I am good for going and they say, oh, well, you can have this, but tell me what's your drink? Like, what's something you really like to make? Or if I tell you what I like, can you make me something? Like, I love to see that craftsmanship come out of it, and that, that creativity that they have. So for me, that's the exciting part.
It is. Because we went to a restaurant in Charleston last weekend. It was
Bourbon and Bubbles.
Bourbons and Bubbles.
Oh,
we went there, and when you looked at the menu that they were trying out for the spring, you could see different cocktails that they had that tell, like, pretty much it told a story. It wasn't even all cocktails. In fact, it was either whiskey or scotch. And what they were doing is the proceeds from it, it was like they were going to donate a portion of it to HBCUs.
Nice.
Did you see that?
I did not see that.
Menu?
Oh, wow.
So
I didn't see that.
It was on a portion of the menu. And they were talking about, different whiskeys around that time, that year that were made. And so it's kind of like you can see the craftsmanship in that. So I would tell you, if you can, you can stop in to see some of the stuff that they're coming up with, because that was kind of like
because I'm gonna be in town in the Easter into the first week in April. So definitely I'm gonna have to do that. Definitely. I like that. Like I said, I love it when they can be creative, and I love when that story comes through. So like it's true craftsmen, and that's, where the name comes from, right? The Great Shakeup, a cocktail craftsman competition, because that's truly what they are, right? It's more than just being a bartender or a mixologist. They're craftsmen.
Exactly. So we're talking about craftsmanship. What is your favorite drink?
Ooh, it depends on the day of the week, honey, because some days my steady Eddie is a gin and tonic, 2 lines, that are any day. But lately I've been all into this bourbon and old fashioned. So there's that. It just really depends. It just really depends.
With a cigar? Is that paired with a cigar?
Sometimes it is. Sometimes it is. Yes. I tend to like Connecticut's. There's one place here, I can't remember what exactly it's called. I just go in and say, this is the one I want. But I love it. It has like a brown sugar tip on it. So it's not all the way through though, but it was amazing. So, but yeah, so sometimes there are cigars for sure.
I love me a Crazy Alice.
Crazy Alice, Ron Pringle.
I love the Crazy Alice now.
I love that. Yes. See, then you will be right at home at the Great Shakeup because we are having a cigar and whiskey experience. So come on.
Yeah, let's talk about the Festival of New York. Let's talk about
Okay.
that.
Yes.
So that is when. Tell us all about it.
So the Great Shakeup is happening April 26th in Charleston, technically in Latson. It's going to be at the Cohen, and it's starting at noon if you have VIP, and for general admission, we'll start at 1. So it's a Black bartender competition. We have 4 semifinalists one is from the Bronx, uh, Charlotte, Indianapolis, and the other one is from New Orleans. And so they are competing for the title of the winner of the Great Shakeup. And the competition and day party, because why can't we have a day party, right? They're going to happen simultaneously. So don't worry, we won't be interrupting saying, a whole bunch of things. Like you can still jam to your favorite. It's okay. Dance with your boo, your girls, whatever you need, it'll still be there. And the competition will still be going on. It's still the center attraction, but it goes on around. And then the competition itself will end about 2. And that's so that we can truly honor that winner, right? So when we talk about recognition and representation, if we can't celebrate you, then we're missing something, right? So the party is set up in the way that that person gets to be celebrated, and their winning cocktail will be going around as well. So the event is open bar. It does have hors d'oeuvres. I'm not going to tell you they're going to last all night, but there will be past hors d'oeuvres as well. And there is a food option if you want more heavier food options as well.
Sounds like an event I want to go to.
I'm saying, come on.
Look, this is for support and this is business related. So this is a venture I have to go to.
I would love that.
Yeah, brother, that's too.
This is I have to go. Okay.
Serious.
And we definitely, we're open. We love it for everybody to come. Get in the car with your girls, your friends, whatever, come through. If you want to fly Delta, we give you an event code and you can save 10% off your flight for coming to the Great Shakeup. So we try to make it easy for you to get there. You just got to get there.
Because that sounds awesome. And since we're talking about Nikki, kind of lead towards your Instagram page, like at the Festival in New York. So with that, I was checking out that page and oh my goodness, you do such a great job branding and producing those reels. Saying earlier made me feel like I was in Tabitha's kitchen, but with the alcohol. I don't know what it was. It was just like
come on, speaking it to existence. Tabitha, if you're watching, please come make drinks with me, please.
Tabitha, go ahead. I bet she could find you a banging vegan recipe. You know, saying it could be vegan.
Oh, that would hit. Vegan?
Yeah.
Vegan
I'm sure. Like in my mind, I'm thinking something real refreshing, like a real good cucumber something. But yes, Tabitha Brown, if you are watching, please come make drinks with me. I'd love it.
Please do. From another, and look, I'm from North Carolina, Tabitha. I'm from a small town too, because I know where she's from. She's from the other side of High Point.
She is. She's from Eden.
Yep. So you come on through, support another Black-owned business, and and come on with Latoya and show us some love. I may be tempted to fly out to your house if she comes to your house to make drinks. I want to make drinks with Tabitha too.
That would be it, because I don't think I've ever seen that.
I don't think so. She does the videos by herself, but ever if she feels like she want to branch out, I'm here for it. So.
And look, Chase could be invited too. Her husband can't leave him out because they could have no fries.
No, he comes.
Even Chance gonna be there.
She can even bring Blackie. It's fine.
Not the song.
Yeah. It's like this is a family affair. Because let's be honest, when you have food and it was like when you think about the culture, we've always had the food, the drinks, the parties and stuff like that. It is a family affair. Like people will see that all the time. I mean, just what it was.
And that's how I grew up too.
Yeah. So it's kind of like in a way you had cookouts. What were your uncles and them doing? I'm just being honest.
They were drinking, yes.
And they could cook the best barbecue too. They could be on the grill and doing all that stuff. So I don't know how some of them did it, but they did it. But It's
They
like,
did. Yeah. I didn't grow up in a dry house. So, my dad had a full bar and he was always the host. So, it was really funny. I think I was in my 20s and I realized how my dad always stayed a step ahead is that he made his drink with a lot more soda than he made everybody else. And I was like, Daddy, you cheating. He was like, well, I mean, I'm hosted. I got to stay up. I was like, goodness. But yeah, so my dad was always the host, and even as I got older, that was part of our thing. He'd be like, "Come have a drink with me." Like, okay. Like he bought me my first flask, and was super excited to fill it up. I was like, "I'm gonna take my flask out, Daddy." He was like, "Okay." He was like, "Let me fill it up for you real quick." I was like, "Thank you." So it's always been a thing, right? It's one of those. It's camaraderie, right? It's fellowship. And it's I think that's part of it. Sometimes in society, we make certain things taboo that don't necessarily need to be taboo. And so to your point, right, you grow up, cookouts, things like that, it's always around it. Then it is what it is. You really get to enjoy, right? And granted, don't get me wrong. There are true things that can happen when we overindulge in alcohol. And I think that's the key. You have to moderation. So like when I do my wine tours, I tell people the key of the day is to pace yourself and know your limits. Same thing.
Let's talk about that too. I don't mean to cut you off, but let's not forget that. Let's talk about the other events you do too, with wine tasting and other stuff you got going on. Let's talk about that as well.
Yeah, so that site is called Vino Voyage. In Vino Voyage, we do luxury wine tours, and we can go. Primarily, it's been focused in California and Temecula, Paso Robles area, Napa, but we can go anywhere. And so, what I call myself is an experience curator, right? Because anybody can plan an event, but I like to plan experiences. I want people to walk away and be like, "Oh my God, that was amazing! I had such a great time. I want to do it again." And that's my goal each time, right? So my wine tours are a little different because they do bring a little bit of a luxury feel. There's an attendant usually. And I say usually just because if you don't, to get those things, that is a premium. So we can go lesser without that. But normally it's you have an attendant who brings you your beverages and your food while we travel to wherever we're going. It can be all inclusive. You can have one meal, you can have three. So there's different ways that we can customize it to work. And normally I try to throw in at least one African American winemaker or spirit maker into the mix if I can. We were talking about it earlier. There are lots of African American winemakers and spirit makers, but when we talk about going on tours, it's a little different just because not a lot of them have tasting rooms. And even the ones who do have tasting rooms, they're not always near each other. So when we do wine tours, we try to do wineries that are close to each other where you can go from one to one to one and hop around. But there are some for sure. So I definitely try to include them when I can. But it's exciting. We always have a good time. I just took a group of 18 last weekend to Temecula. So that was a good time.
Oh, nice.
oh, that is awesome. So, with that being said, how do you stay up on the latest trends and stuff like that, especially when it comes to your wine tours? What are some things that you do to stay updated on what people want and what people like?
I visit a lot of different wineries. So the ones that we go visit are normally ones that I've been to. I'm looking for certain things. I'm looking for things that give you more than just tasting wine, right? So I'm looking for that experience. Like, what does it look like when you approach? Do you get that feel? Especially if you've never been on a wine tour, you want it to look like one of the vineyards you saw in a magazine or in a movie. So I look for those type of things. I'm really big on energy and how people treat me when I'm asking questions or coming in. Because if you treat me well, I know you're going to treat my group well. And so as far as trends, I'm just out here a lot. And I try to interact with other people in the industry to learn what those things are. And I stay a part of certain things. So right now I'm a part of a cohort of Pronghorn's mentorship program. And so that's been amazing because I am able to mix with other people that I wouldn't have met from around the country and different, not just people in my stance, but the actual mentors that are part of the program and who offer insight to us. And, we talk about what the coming trends are and what's happening in the market and where things are going. And so that helps too when you're thinking about, okay, what else am I missing or what else can we go towards? Like just plugging myself into those other areas where you can do that. So it's really about educating myself and continuing that professional development.
We're gonna throw you on the spot, but
Uh-oh.
I think you can handle it. I think you can handle this.
I feel like this is the daily double on Jeopardy, but okay, I'm ready.
Make sure I word this right. Oh, I don't have my computer up so I can say it right. Okay, I got it. Because if I got to edit, I can edit.
Okay.
What 3 words that also can be used as affirmations would you use to describe your business?
I am creative. I am worthy. I'm enough.
Okay. All right.
Because the creativity piece, right, gives us all the different angles and the different ways of doing all these things, right, that are normal, right? They're things that happen every day. Worthy, because sometimes it gets hard, and you have to figure out how to press forward, right? Whether it's a pivot or do you just move past whatever happens, and everybody doesn't always see your vision, right? So I'm worthy, so is my business. It's worthy of the next phase. It's worthy of sponsors. It's worthy of patronage. It's worthy of those things, right? Because sometimes we hear you too much, right? But it's not too much. It's just enough, right? And and all those things are relative, right? When we think about it, because what I do is not necessarily on a base level. It's a little elevated, but it's regular too, right? And it's enough. So yeah.
Oh, I
I
love
like
that.
that.
And it was
I
on the
like the
spot too.
word enough. You're the second person who
Enough.
came on and said worthy, but enough is deep.
Enough
Because
is
what
big.
you're doing, yeah, that's big. Because what you're doing is, to me, is trailblazing. And so it's no blueprint for it. It's not, you just said the demographics, you put the stats out there. This is what's going on. Less than 1% is actually in the background doing this. And so, congratulations.
Thank
I pray
you.
your success. And as you keep hitting those glass ceilings, you just stay humble, just keep going, keep your head up.
So thank you so much for, giving me the time. I appreciate it. So, however, we are still looking for volunteers. So you can still volunteer with the Great Shakeup. We still need them. We need you to help create and keep us going. So there's lots of opportunities that people can do. Bar bags, bartenders. We need front end people. If you're in the hospitality industry and want to volunteer and help out, we will definitely take that. So yeah, just reach out to us at thegreatshakeup.com.
So you guys heard it from Miss Latoya Vickers on how to contact her. Make sure you Instagram her at the Festival New York. If you are interested in volunteering or you want more information on this, you can check out her page on Instagram. And we look forward to seeing and experiencing the great shakeup, because she is doing that in this industry. So every time we say this, and I mean this passionately, a lot of people in our community say there's not enough, enough events for us, by us. Well, guess what? There is an event going on by you. Come and support.
Exactly.
That's right.
Support. Back up your words and stuff like that. Because if, I asked earlier, demographics of how many people of color were in this industry from the front end to the back end, but I didn't even ask her the market questions. How many people, the target audience is like pretty much are Black people or people of color? I bet you that number is so high.
So when you talk about, to your point, right? Like you got 5.6 in just mixologists, but we think about Black people consumption, Black people buying power. Let's be clear. Black people have the buying power of the country of Mexico, not a town in Mexico, but the country of Mexico. That's how much buying power we have. And if we were just to put a little bit of that, just a little bit of that back into ourselves, what could we do? Right? What could we do for each other? How could we really support each other? And what could that look like? Right? I think it's endless in real life if we really, but it takes effort, right? Because we're so used to just doing. And I'm guilty of it too, right? I'm that person. Like the internet loves me. They send me an ad. I think I need that. Yes. Let me order that real quick. It's $20. But that $20, you know what I'm saying? We could send it to something else, to another small business, and keep them going. So
this is awesome. I'm like, I need me a drink now.
Come on.
But please come out supporting, just like she said. If anything, just go ahead and visit her page, follow her, like, tag, and share, so people in the area that's close by, they can go to it if you cannot make it. Because again, we need to come out and support more people of color. Because like she said, she stated so clear so everybody can hear. We need to come and support, because people of color really don't realize the buying power that we have. If you did realize it, you would know how you stand in the government and everything else. I'm just saying, case
Right.
closed, because you have a lot of power in the economy. So it's time to show up with your money and put it back in your communities. We
That
support
part.
everything else. Take a portion of it, support people in your communities that look like you. That's all I'm saying. We have that much buying power. We can do it.
We can,
So.
we can't. And the other piece to that is, tell your friends who don't look like us, because they can support us too, right? So we're not separatists. We will take all the green money. It's okay.
Money is
So
money. Yeah.
Money is money.
Money is
money
money.
is money, and come out and enjoy the culture, right? Because let's be clear, being Black is a culture, right? And so we're not the only ones who enjoy it. So you don't have to be Black to come to the Great Shakeup, but it's fine if you are. If you're a supporter, you want to come through, come through. It's still going to be great. If you like mixology, you like good music, you like good food, it's for you.
Can't beat that. Food, drinks, I'm always in.
Invite your neighbors, invite anybody that you know like events like this. I mean, have a good time. Have a good
Exactly.
time. You're just gonna pay it forward too, because you just never know. Events like this, it shows the community too how many people love these events, and you can have more stuff going on. So that's another point.
Exactly. And that's, and that it determines where we go next, right? In real life. Because we talked about that a little bit before. And it's like, this is the first one. It's in Charleston, which, gives all the feels, because that's where I'm from. And so that's who I am in real life. And, it could be in Charleston again next year. It just depends. We'll have to see what that looks like.
It's going to be making its way to Charleston every year. That'd be great.
Hey, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
But thank you again, Latoya, for visiting with us. Thank you. But we are going to have to stay in contact and stuff like that and see what other projects you got going on. I'm going to see if I can go.
You coming. You gonna come. You're gonna figure this out. You coming. And then y'all gonna be in the media lounge doing your interviews. It's gonna work out. You coming. Come on. I left that part out. There is a media lounge. So you'll be able to record from there if you want to. Take time, write stuff out. Yeah, you'll have your own space.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that. Come on.
Something for everyone.
Something for everyone.
The main points. People love cigars, they love food, and they definitely love drinks.
They do. And I'm doing as much local as I can as well. So our cigar lounge is coming from Monk's Corner. So Lux Cigar Lounge, shout out to them, because they'll be providing cigars. We also, our chef is Chef Mac, who is from Charleston. And so he is preparing our food, and the food will have it's Gullah-like. So it's a little elevated, but it gives us the things that we love, right? So that's going to be exciting. So yeah, it's going to be a good time. Definitely, I've met some great people along this path. You just build relationships and you just treat people right. It all works out.
Exactly.
There you go. Treat people right.
Well, thank you for coming on. You want to give your information, when the event is, what time, and how you can be reached?
Okay. Yes. The Great Shakeup is happening April 26th, Charleston, South Carolina, starting at noon and going until 5. We have 3 tiers of tickets. There is general admission, VIP, and then a VIP seating, which is very limited. You can buy tickets at thegreatshakeup.com, or you can find us on Eventbrite, and you can find us on Instagram at The Festival Noir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. I appreciate it.
So, again, if you ever have another event or something, please just contact us so you can come right on and we'll do this again. And for everybody watching, please like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.